that's giving us that we have an isosceles triangle, my recommendation is to actually do all your markings that you possibly can before you go anywhere. All right. I don't know why this is dotted. I'm going to make that a solid line. So let's just trace over that and make it a solid line. All right. Now notice in my prove line, am I proving a segment congruent to a segment, an angle congruent to an angle, or a triangle congruent to a triangle? Well, my prove is segment congruent to a segment. So am I going to have my endgame be side, 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 angle, side, one of those, or CPCTC? CPCTC. So let's quickly just make a little note saying that, oh, I need to remember that I'm going with CPCTC for my last line. All right, so let's mark up the diagram. Isosceles. Legs are already marked there for us, which is good. I also know that my base angles are congruent, so let's go ahead and mark those up. What else is glaring out saying, don't forget about me, don't forget about me, don't forget about me? Reflexive property, so I'm going to mark that up. We've got an angle bisector, so that's already marked there for us. So we've got lots of different ways that we can prove these triangles are congruent. Okay. Is side, side, side an option? No, because I'm not given B, D, and C, D. So that's out the window. Is hypotenuse leg an option? Nope, because I don't have anything about right angles, so that's out of the window. So now my options are side, angle, side. That could work. Angle, side, angle. That could work. Or I could do angle, angle, side, and that could work. Jack, question.
If it's bisecting it, wouldn't it be a right angle? Like,
it's bisecting this angle up here.
yeah, but at the bottom it's still...
Well, we don't know that for sure.
No?
We don't assume it if they don't say. They would need to say perpendicular for us to assume the right angles. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so now let's quickly just make a plan. If I were to go, don't write anything down. If I were to go side, angle, side, I would need to have a line using the reflexive property. I would need to have my angle bisector, and then I would need to have my congruent legs of the isosceles triangle. So I would have my given, I would have my reflexive property, I would have my angle bisector, I would have my legs, and then I would have side, angle, side, and then I would have CPCTC. Right? So those would technically be all my steps in a proof. If I were to go side, angle, side, reflexive property, angle bisector, congruent legs of the isosceles triangle. Does everybody see that? If I were to go, let me write over here, if I were to go angle, side, angle, what would be my steps? Angle, side, angle. How would I get these angles congruent? Yeah, two options. What are these? These are what? Well, more specific. They're the base angles, right? So I would have my base angles congruent. How would I get this congruent to this? I would have my legs congruent. And then I get the top angle would come from my angle bisector, followed by angle side angle, followed by CPCTC. Would be the plan of attack for angle side angle, right? If I were to go angle, angle, side, so angle, angle, ignoring this side, then I would have my base angles congruent. I would have my angle bisector, and I would have my reflexive property, followed by angle, angle, side, followed by CPCTC. All of these are valid proofs. Which one do we want to formally do? Angle, angle, side. Angle, side, angle. They all have the same amount of steps. It's whether you like writing the reflexive property or writing more if-then statements, technically.
I like writing the reflexive.
You like writing the reflexive? Because here I would say if an isosceles triangle, then base angles are congruent. If isosceles triangle, then legs are congruent. If angle bisector, then two congruent angles, and then angle side angle CPCTC. Here I will go reflexive property if angle bisector, then two congruent angles. If isosceles triangle, then legs are congruent. Side angle side, CPCTC. Then here you got base angles, angles reflexive. I don't know, what, Dawson? Yes, I need to write a pass for you. So where do we want to go? Angle side, or angle side?
Which one would give you the reflexive again?
Well, both of them that say reflexive up there. I don't know where my passes are. So where do we want to go? Freddie, make the final decision.
Angle side, please.
All right, angle side. Go ahead and get it set up. 12, today is the 14th. 11, 20. All right, so T-chart, statements on the left, reasons on the right, given. All right, so if we're going angle side, that was our final decision. I need this angle, I need that top angle, and then I need the reflexive property. So let's get the reflexive property in there right away. So AD is congruent to AD reflexive property. Okay, let's get that base angle. So angle, that's over here, ABC, I'm going to say, is congruent to angle ACB because if isosceles triangle, then base angles are congruent. Now let's get the top angles. I'm going to go angle CAD is congruent to angle BAD. If angle bisector, then two congruent angles. Now we have it. So I've got 1, 2, 3 congruencies. So before I can do CPCTC, I have to state that the triangles are congruent. So I'm going to say triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD because of angle side congruency, and then finish it up with a CPCTC. So CPCTC angle, or sorry, what did I change that to? I changed it to BD is congruent to CD. Done and done. So the only thing that we are adding is if you're given, in the given, anything about isosceles triangle, then we can either get base angles congruent or legs congruent to add to our repertoire. Okay? All right. I honestly don't feel comfortable going because I feel like we need more practice with these proofs.
Let's just give her a break, right?
Huh?